always such a fun exercise for me to do because I love playing with these cubes. I got them off Amazon. Obviously, you can roll some of them if you want. I'm going to pull out 5. All right, so we got a really good group here. Let me roll them and see what we're going to do the exercise on today. So we get impressionism. We've had that before, I think. Conservative. Okay. Stranger. Interesting. Generosity. I'm seeing something we could do with this. And finally, nervous. Very interesting choices. Let me write and we'll see what I end up with. All right.
The 5 words we are including in this writing exercise are 1. Generosity, 2. Nervous, 3. Impressionism, 4. Stranger, 5. Conservative. If you want, pause the video, do your own exercise, and then come back and listen. Take 5 to 10 minutes and see what you come up with. Don't worry about it being perfect, just do what you can. This is about being creative and having fun. That being said, here is the exercise. I'm not conservative by nature. I'm impulsive, happy, ready to go. Wherever. So when the stranger stopped me on the street, I wasn't afraid. He didn't give me the impression of having to be wary of him. He just looked like a normal guy. Why be nervous when I could make a new friend? When he pulled something out of his pocket, I didn't feel threatened, just curious. It was his phone. "I have a question for you," the stranger said in a deep voice. That was sort of a growl. He clicked some things on his phone, apparently hoping that I would stay and talk with him. I'm sort of busy. I was on my way to work. Hopefully I wasn't fired for stopping in at the coffee shop and getting a coffee. I got an extra coffee for my boss just in case. It was his favorite. I had already drank my coffee. "Let me hold that coffee while you look at this." The stranger gave me his phone that was playing a short video about spaying and neutering cats. Thankfully, it was less than a minute. What was a minute anyway when I was already late for work? "I don't have a cat. Thanks anyway," I said, switching back the phone for my boss's coffee. The stranger just smiled at me, in a dark way, then turned and left. I was late, and this encounter had put me even further behind. I hurried on my way, walking down the sidewalk, the last block to work. I was going to have to present at the meeting today. While I was riding the elevator and getting to my workplace, I rehearsed what I was going to present. Getting up to the office a few minutes later, I handed the cup of coffee to my boss. He sighed, but took it. "Your favorite? Is everyone ready for the meeting?" I might have chirped this, instead of speaking it as a normal human. "You are late. Let's go." My boss turned toward the door of the office, taking a long drink of the coffee I had brought him. The meeting started and I was nervous. Because I needed a win, that would set me up good for a raise. Halfway through the meeting, my boss seemed to be nervous, shaking. His eye bugged out, his mouth frothed. He fell out of the chair a minute after the shaking started. He didn't look very vibrant. Everyone swarmed around him while I stood at the front of the room frozen. As my coworkers scrambled around, I remembered the stranger. The stranger must have done something to the coffee. That was an explanation of the quick decline of my boss. He didn't look alive as I tried to reassure myself that the man was going to stand up and tell everyone to get back to work. Fear started to set in a little. I was going to be blamed for my boss's murder. Who was going to believe me when I told them of the stranger? Who was the stranger, and why had he wanted my boss in a coffin? Thanks for listening to this writing exercise.